Well, friends, that's some next level stuff out in the prairies today. Oh, it's like everywhere gets a chance of thunderstorm, and not just a thunderstorm, like anywhere you get a risk of a rock of hail in the head. Okay, Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel here. I had a great storm chasing day yesterday myself. Caught 5 separate thunderstorms, and if I was really ambitious, I could have ran out into the Caribou Mountains here at the end of the day and maybe caught a few flashes of number 6. It was epic. So much thunderstorm action. So I got video on that coming out later today. Make sure you hit like and share and subscribe because Joey, only the Caribou Weather Dude up here in the Caribou Mountains. I'm the only one of my kind in Canada ever. I'm the only mountain man storm chaser freak like myself. Like, there's other storm chasers. I was saying in my video recordings yesterday, I was like, other chasers I know in BC go to Alberta to chase storms, like just to put it into perspective. But I had a great successful day yesterday. Great successful day. I can't wait to show you all. Anyways, let's get on with the news. Alberta's torching off. All our crappy weather's gone over to them. And then it kept going east, and now Manitoba's torching off even worse today with tornado threats. And meanwhile, BC's only got a few risks of like mostly rain with maybe some embedded thunderstorms in it possible today. However, the ridge of high pressure is growing, and we are about to have a very nice weekend, friends. You heard it here.
There it is. My God. Get out of here.
Water. They try mopping this. Holy lightning, look at this crap. Area C. Okay, Area C. Usually like when you're down by like C or D, in usually Area A is like the most exciting thing, and they kind of go down the list. But no, they got it backwards today. It's like, they'll start with like telling you everywhere that's not getting a severe thunderstorm with giant hail. It's like that's the easiest way to describe what's going on the prairies today. Oh, not you, Grand Prairie, and maybe some of these guys on the highway up to Fort Mac there. Okay, yeah, that's true. Like Whitecourt, no, you're probably at risk there. Okay, Calgary, big time hail, 2 to 4 centimeters. Could see another Calgary hail day. I don't know about that. Maybe. Well, maybe. Anyways, that's not what everyone's talking about today. They're talking about Area D, where 4 to 6 centimeters. That's like we're approaching baseball size, man. We're getting up to baseball size hail, talking about with 50 mils of rain and some of those bombs just to the west of Brandon, Manitoba. Of course, if you're in Brandon, though, you're in Area B, which still going to have 3 to 4 centimeter hail. Is the risk of tornado end at that little line before Brandon, Manitoba? No, it doesn't. In fact, one of Brandon, Manitoba's most epic personalities ever, Justin Ortel from Weather Center, Manitoba. He's going to be out chasing these storms today. I'm sure what he would do and what I would do if I were him is he's probably going to go into the Saskatchewan side, set up and wait there, and then trail them as they come back into Manitoba. That would be my play. I think that's more or less how I did it yesterday. And then Winnipeg, you're in the clear. Hopefully, probably. Okay, wow, what an obnoxious looking thunderstorm outlook today. Everybody on the prairie, be aware, because even Area A, 2 centimeter hail, that can be a sign of severe thunderstorm. Yeah, there really is nowhere in the prairie that a severe thunderstorm isn't possible. Is it likely everywhere? No, it seems like Area D has a high risk. You don't see the high risk too often, by the way, either, right? Like generally, in the weather world, if you say minor risk, if a weatherman says minor risk, what you think of is minor risk. No, when we say minor risk, we mean there's a risk, right? If we say there's a moderate risk, you're probably thinking like, well, moderate in our language means like, kind of. Like, no, actually moderate means pretty good risk. Right? So you have to understand how weather people are. And it's like, well, it says high risk to you. That's like, I don't know what that is to you. I know to me, when I see high risk in the weather world, that's like our way of saying like over the top risk. It's not just high. It's like cranking high. Well, we don't over exaggerate. That's kind of like the game of being a weather guy. So you say, yeah, there's a moderate risk today that you could see damaging thunderstorms. Well, no, there's a high risk today. And, for you, high risk means high. But in the weather world, when a meteorologist is saying it means like crazy high. Have I got through to you yet? Well, how that works, I know it's totally weird, right? And then that's why if you look at the last column there, extreme, you almost have never seen extreme on the board because, we call high would be in your mind in comparison extreme risk, right? So it's like just to get you through the idea a little bit that weather folks tend to downplay just slightly. We try to downplay. Yeah, there's a good reason for that. We can talk about that sometime. But no, nothing that colorful going on in British Columbia today. Nothing that colorful going on today at all. Pam, your family who's hunting up there, you might be on the border of some rain bombs. But look at this. Look how there's no description in the area, in the region, right? There's like no description. There's no, you're like, okay, well, what does this mean? It means that there could be some thunderstorms in these. It's mostly rain systems. We had a big rain bomb already come through Wells this morning. It was just pounding rain when I woke up this morning. So yeah, we could see some convective showers. Some of them might produce a few bolts of lightning. Is the severe risk there? No, not really. Is the chance that some of these will get really out of control there? No, not really, actually. This is a pretty even-keeled looking thunderstorm risk map, and what's happening is the high pressure is building here, and it's going to start getting nicer and 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 nicer. Meanwhile, all across Canada, there's hardly anything to talk about. Wow, I mean, besides thunderstorms, we do have temperatures in the low 30s today, continuing on the Alberta side. So a little bit of a heat spell until these storms kind of start passing through on Thursday. Give you cool down just a little bit. Great advice here. Consider rescheduling outdoor activities to cooler hours of the day. You could have a siesta. I don't want a siesta. I want to see Dolores. Sorry, that's like my favorite Three Stooges sketch ever. They're like trying to find Dolores, and they're asking they're in Mexico, and they're asking the Mexican guy, he's sleeping, he's trying to tell him, I'm having a siesta, and he's like, we don't want a siesta, we want to see Dolores. Okay, drink non-alcoholic beverages. In fact, if you have a problem with alcohol there, go to AA or go to therapy or whatever. Hey, there's my moment to plug Joey Only the Sober Guy. 32 to 34, Humidex 38 to 40. Now you know why some of these storms are cranking on the prairies. We do have this inflow of warm and even humid air coming in, which is, you don't see Humidex values being that high in Saskatchewan. I know Brandon was talking. He's like, man, it's so humid today over in Brooks, Alberta. It's like 45% humidity, he's telling me. I'm like, wow, dude, you ever been to Ontario? That's nothing. Meanwhile, northern Manitoba, 50 to 70 millimeters of rain coming Thursday morning until Friday night, 2-day rain event with heavy, heavy rain. So, remember I was telling you that the fire story's all but coming to an end in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. I mean, look, I'm not here to sell you fake news. I'm here to tell you the things that are going to happen before they happen. And I'm almost always absolutely correct. And anybody who doesn't think so is mental in the head. Okay, low pressure system tracking across northern prairies will bring heavy rainfall to portions of northern Manitoba beginning Thursday morning, continuing through Friday night. Rainfall warnings may be issued as the event draws near. Still some air quality statements up north. Still some high tide warnings up there. Storm surge warning there, 15 to 25 centimeters above highest astronomical level Thursday and Friday. Over the weekend, the highest water levels are expected to reach 30 centimeters above highest astronomical tide. That's crazy. Sunday morning, moderate flooding is possible. Still a little bit of smoke down there in Nova Scotia. Still a little bit of air quality problems there in Newfoundland. 30-kilometer-hour gusts, 50 through the night, easing with 40. That's not good. That's definitely going to be putting some more smoke up there. Smoke from Kingston wildfire will continue to significantly reduce air quality in the vicinity. People who are impacted by wildfire smoke, 65 years and older, you are all at risk. Pregnant people, infants, pregnant people. Yeah, okay. It's like, well, I don't like using gender terminology very much, I'll tell you. And I guess that makes me woke because I don't want to ascribe like a male or female to anything. I remember like being in French class as a kid, and they're like, no, that is la, that is le, that is feminine, that is un masculine. And I was like, how can a pen be feminine or masculine? And it's like, what is this coffee cup? Like, sorry, you must say it in. I don't know if a coffee cup is masculine or feminine in French. Why do we need to attach gender to things like that? I don't know. But when it comes to like pregnant people, I mean, come on, there's only one kind of person who's going to be pregnant. Now, as you can see, our upper level low pressure bombs that have been going on out there, Gulf of Alaska sort of style the last, year. It's still there, still present. But we got this blocking high squeezing on up the coast. That's great news. That's great news. Here's the big low pressure. Look at this trough right on through. And it's like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to make for tornado weather there, I think, for some of you. Oh, boy, I forgot. We got a major hurricane happening. Let's have a look at the major hurricane, folks. We'll put it on satellite here for a second and have a look at Hurricane Erin. Just a beast this morning. Total beast mode. There's our clearly defined Hurricane Erin. I had a good laugh there because they, the weather service there put out, it's like it did get to category 5. I'm not sure what the exact status of it is that we can find out in a second here, but it did get to category 5. And of course, like that is extremely powerful storm. It is going to be making rip tides and things up the coast that will put people at danger trying to use the water. I know surfers are planning to go out and take advantage of the crazy tidal forces that are going to be coming with this storm. Sure. Hey, that's awesome. Epic. But they use the term catastrophic hurricane. They're like, Hurricane Erin's become a catastrophic hurricane. I was like, wait a second. I know the trajectory of this thing. She's currently back down to category 2. Did it actually reach 5? It did for a little while. Look at that. Moving pretty quickly now, actually. Had like a couple days where it didn't move too much, and then zoom, and then it kind of slowed down for a bit, and then zoom, it's taken back off now that it's turned the corner. As you can see, it's going out to sea. Maybe has more likely a chance that it will be some kind of a low-pressure system that affects the Azores or England or something like that, because it's not going to be affecting land very much. I know this is totally off topic right now. All the models kind of show the same thing. Yeah, it may affect Atlantic Canada a little bit in terms of like high tides and a bit of rain and a bit of a little wind and whatnot. But no, you're not going to get hit by the hurricane. Does not seem possible at all. Every model seems to indicate otherwise. And the other thing is, there's just nothing catastrophic about a storm that's floating around out to sea there. I mean, yeah, it's bad, really bad to sail your boat into her, I tell you that. Okay, let's get on with some more modeling. Let's watch how she goes today. The big low is passing through Saskatchewan. You can see a bit of thunderstorms popping up. Look at that southeastern BC maybe having some of the stronger risk on the tail of this here. Okay, so folks in southeastern BC maybe pay a bit more of attention. Most of these to the further north are just sort of popcorns, pop-ups so far by 1 in the afternoon. Nothing too crazy. You can see some isolated cells joining up there in the prairies. Some of these isolated cells, those are the ones you want to look out for. That's what I was looking for yesterday in my chase. I'm trying to avoid this big line and find these individual guys, because it's the individual ones that can get rotating, spinning, and do angry things more easily. It's not impossible to have a tornado in a line of storms like that. No, it happens sometimes, sure. But it's those individual small cookies. But there you go. Look at this one. Boom, just pops up from North Dakota there sometime around 1800, 6 p.m. That would be our time, not Manitoba time. Keep in mind, I'm like 2 hours ahead of you here, or behind you, 2 hours behind. This is a big old storm there that is probably going to be the real dangerous one. You can just see by the colors in it. It's nuts. It's a totally nuts storm. That risk of strong storm still in Saskatoon area. Like, there's nowhere in the prairies that if you get one of these storms that it isn't that it's impossible for these storms to turn really severe. No, these storms are really likely to be severe today. In fact, let's go have a look at the Canadian model, and we'll jump over to 1500 hours, and we'll just kick on some of the extreme Cape values. Look at this, 46, 4500 in the Canadian model, all the way up in front of Manitoba. Man, this is bad news for anybody who gets caught in this thunderstorm, I'm telling you. Now, that corner, southeastern Saskatchewan, southwest Manitoba, is one of the hot spots for lightning and severe weather in Canada. So, be aware. This isn't unusual. You can see some of our lingering bullshit there tailing on out. High pressure taking over. Pretty warm in Vernon today at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 26C. Really nice, but it's this crazy Cape values. I don't think I've seen 5,000 ever in Canada. I don't think I've ever seen a 5,000 value in Canada, and some of these were very, very close to it. Very, very close. And just on the 6,000 and more, man. So, like, I'm telling you, if a tornado drops out of one of these storms today, Manitoba, look out. Look out. This is very, very, very dangerous setup for you. That's a lot of warmth in the south there, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, everything you need in the cooler area and behind, everything you need to make a really, really violent prairie late season thunderstorm that could have a damaging tornado. I'm absolutely convinced of that. They've made the right call at Environment Canada today. And again, even some of these Cape values at 2,200 hours, we're still over 4,000 joules per kilogram of convective available potential energy. For those of you who don't know, convection is the process that makes thunderstorms. That's the rising of the clouds. The air is rising fast. So how fast can that air rise? Pretty fast, it seems like today in Manitoba. Look the heck out, my friends. But the good news for us in BC is we're about to get some better weather, and I don't know how much we'll see of that on Thursday. Improving, so the high pressure's kind of taken over a little bit. 26, 23 in Williams Lake, a little bit better, into the 20s, up in the Peace even, 20 in Watson Lake, 21 in Hay River, 22 in Norman Wells, even far north. That's nuts. That's really nuts. On the backside of this low that it's getting that warm that fast, you can see the warm air is really sticking along the U.S. border. That's what's feeding a lot of these storms today. We're going to have to switch now over to ECMWF modeling. Now you see Friday, improving Williams Lake up to 26, getting warm on the island even again, finally, after you took a whole bunch of rain and whatnot. I know those fires are still active, although much more suppressed and reduced. Very, very warm down south. Thunderstorm potential on Friday, looking more like it's moved into Ontario by then. So we're starting to see that clearing trend across the prairies, across BC, across everywhere, which is great news because we're about to have ourselves a really fantastic weekend. That high is building on in. Look at on Saturday, 1,300 hours. Nice. Let's go a little bit warmer. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Warm. 27 on the island, 29 up in Williams Lake. This is great news. 26 in Prince George, 31, and even high 20s on Sunday, too, up Fort Nelson. So, yeah, fishing trip, Pam. Just let them know they get through one more day of rainy and down conditions. We're into some nice weather. Meteorologist Mark Ingles WX, also he's on Facebook there, Ingles Weather. Totally called this. I thought maybe we'd see a little bit of warmth, like 2 days. Mark was like, no, he put up a diagram he made that said we're going to end the month above average. That seems to be the case. That's great. Great news. Warm. I don't know how this will affect fire conditions yet. I'm not willing to look that far out. But hey, let's keep in mind we do have the potential that if it gets warm, we're going to have thunderstorms again, which makes me excited because we're going to be waiting to see now when was that going to happen. I mean, this is just guessing, but looks like sometime next week. Southern BC. Oh, I'm jealous. I wish I was there for that. What about next week? No, mostly moving out. A little bit on Thursday, maybe next week. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, again, we're just kind of fishing here to see what's up. Oh, someone. So, like, hey, here's the good news for people like me who like to go chasing thunderstorms. The season's not fully done yet because we do have some warm weather coming. I'm looking forward to getting a few more chases in. And look at this. It's not going to be done for you prairie people either. Coming into September, we're going to have another setup that's going to be very exciting setup coming at us. Can't wait, everybody. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with more action. I'm sorry my video was so long-winded and boring today, but look, hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. We'll see you all again. Thanks very much for supporting the dude. Become a channel member. I appreciate that very much. We'll see you tomorrow, and make sure you watch all my new crazy storm chasing videos that are coming out today because some of them are epic.